Hull techs are the Navy's version of the proverbial jack of all trades.
As a hull technician, I'm responsible for keeping those ships behind me afloat. Canadian Forces naval fleet is ton for ton, every bit as modern and capable as any fleet in the world. Our destroyers, frigates, and supply ships deploy on exercises and operations both domestically and internationally. And on every one of those vessels, you'll find hull technicians, or as we're known on board, hull techs. Hi, my name is Petty Officer 2nd Class Neil Yalden. I'm from Kincardine, Ontario, and I'm a hull technician in the Canadian Forces.
And I am Master Seaman Sean Wilcox from Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm currently posted to the Canadian Forces Fleet School of Esquimalt Damage Control Division. It's one of the oldest and proudest trades in the Navy, descended from shipwrights who used to build and repair the wooden ships they sailed on.
We're part of the engineering department, responsible for the entire hull and superstructure of the ship.
And that means all ironwork, doors, hatches, piping, domestic equipment and services, as well as firefighting and damage control equipment.
Damage control is the hull tech's specialty.
During heavy weather or damage control situations, we monitor ship stability and help identify potential problems before they become critical.
We're also trained specialists in helicopter crash rescue, firefighting, and as medical first responders.
The most important thing in those situations is your ability to keep your head and focus on the task at hand. When you're days away from the nearest port, with as much water beneath you as there is sky above you, believe me, you want everything working properly. Having served as a hull technician in the Canadian Navy for 12 years, I can easily say that the hull technician trade is among the best in the Navy, if not the best. You're constantly challenged. There are a variety of tasks every day that you'll be asked to carry out, and the challenges never cease.
With this job, it's more creativity and imagination. You have to figure out how to take a broken system and make it work again. If you have to design a piping system, you have to design that piping system yourself. There's no blueprint for being a hull tech.
The Navy strives to develop experienced multi-tradesmen who are capable of keeping the fleet in peak operating condition. You should have the confidence to approach and tackle problems as they arise, even if it's a situation you've never had to face before. Secondary duties I've had as a hull technician include working as a member of the ship's dive team, working on the naval boarding party, and also working as a member of the heel crash rescue firefighting team.
As a ship's team diver, you'll be involved in hull searches, exteriors of the hulls. Sometimes there may be damage you'll have to fix from the outside of the ship, and it'll give you a sense of where all the openings and the through hull fittings will go.
It takes ingenuity, versatility, and adaptability. This trade is a good fit for the kind of person who's energized by working with equipment and tools, troubleshooting, and problem solving. And you've got to be ready to get your hands dirty.
As a hull tech, you'll spend a good part of your career aboard ships in either Esquimalt, BC, or Halifax, Nova Scotia. Naval vessels deploy to support Canada's UN and NATO commitments around the world.
Professionally, my best experience was being deployed to the Gulf in 2003, where I was a member of the ship's boarding party. So I had an opportunity to board several ships in the Gulf, got a chance to see how other navies do things, and I got a chance to see how the local people live.
There's one thing you should understand. Hull techs are sailors first, tradesmen second. You're an integral part of the ship's company, which means you'll be expected to do whatever's necessary to keep the ship operational. Whether that's painting, pulling rope, helping in the galley, or loading stores and supplies. All of which gives you a real sense of pride and community.
As a hull technician, you can be expected to work with firefighters, marine engineers, and electrical technicians. You're working shoulder to shoulder with your fellow sailors for the good of the ship. As a hull tech, your military career will start in the same place it does for everyone else, at the Canadian Forces Leadership and Recruit School in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, Quebec, with a basic military qualification course, or BMQ. After that, you'll be off to either the East or West Coast to attend the Naval Environmental Training Program. Here's where you first learn what it means to be a sailor. Among other things, you'll be introduced to seamanship and the rich history and traditions that have made the Canadian Navy a revered and respected presence throughout the world. The final phase of your training, during which you'll be assigned to your first ship, is Basic Occupational Qualification, or BOQ. This is 20 weeks of trade-specific, hands-on training in reading and interpreting the ship's drawings and blueprints, maintenance of watertight and non-watertight openings, plumbing, ventilation and air conditioning systems, as well as welding, firefighting, and damage control. As your career develops, you'll have the opportunity to advance your knowledge and skill set through on-the-job training and formal courses.
If you're good at what you do, the opportunities for advancement are there.
It is a challenging trade, both physically and mentally, but if you enjoy working with your hands and have a passion for the sea like I do, you should definitely consider a career as a hull technician with the Canadian Forces.